Have you ever had the feeling that there is something inside you that hasn't been activated yet? Something powerful, dormant, like a key is about to turn, but you still haven't found the right lock. What if I told you that the reality you live in today was created, detail by detail, not by your conscious desires, but by the hidden frequencies of your subconscious? That's right. Everything you experience, good or bad, is directly linked to what vibrates in your personal quantum field. Most people live trapped in patterns that they don't even realize. They repeat failures, sabotage their own dreams, and blame fate. But what if what you call bad luck is actually a mental program running in the background? An uncracked code, waiting for reprogramming? Yes, there is a code. And when you understand how quantum entanglement connects your mind to the universe, it all starts to make sense. Manifestation ceases to be luck and becomes applied science. Now, forget everything you've been told about thinking positive or having faith that everything will work out. This is just the tip of the iceberg. In this content, you will learn how to use real techniques to reprogram your mind, raise your vibrational frequency, and create synchronicities with precision. It's like hacking the matrix of your life, only consciously. And the best part? The results come faster than you think, when you do it the right way. So, if you're tired of trying, and always stopping in the same place, maybe it's time to stop trying, and start activating. Because when you activate the code of your subconscious, the entire universe responds. Are you ready to decipher what few dare to access? There is a detail that almost no one talks about. The subconscious mind is like a secret antenna. Yes, the kind that lives hidden on the roof of the house, but is capturing everything without us noticing. It vibrates, emits, receives, all on autopilot. Each recurring thought, each belief that you repeat without even realizing it, is transmitted directly to the quantum field. And the most curious? The universe listens to these transmissions well, even when you swear you're just thinking big. When someone insists that nothing works out for me, the subconscious records it as a mantra. And then, my friend, it begins to emit this vibrational frequency without pause. The result? Reality molded to the extent of those beliefs. It's like programming a suffering playlist and complaining that it doesn't play happy music. Mental reprogramming begins exactly there, changing the disc. But for this, it is necessary to be aware of what is repeated in the thought, as if adjusting the tuning of the radio until it gets the clean signal. Think of the subconscious as an energetic command center, which connects to a much larger quantum entanglement. It vibrates deep emotions, fear, gratitude, love, insecurity, and these vibrations are like passwords to access what you manifest. Have you noticed that grateful people usually have more reasons to be grateful? This is no coincidence, it is emotional quantum physics in action. A simple example: start and end the day with a gratitude journal and watch the magic happen within weeks. And if you think it's just toxic positivity, take a deep breath. Here, the thing is practical. Meditation, intention, and visualization are real tools for redirecting that antenna. Imagine waking up every day and tuning into your energy as if choosing your favorite radio station. The difference? In this case, the season you choose is the reality you live in. And the most fascinating thing is that, in the next step, this connection reveals itself far beyond classical science. Quantum entanglement sounds like the stuff of science fiction, right? Like, one particle here reacts to the other on the other side of the universe. But check it out, this isn't just an idea for physicists with messy hair. It is also a powerful metaphor for our life. Because, in the same way, we are all connected on an invisible level. Have you thought of someone and they text you seconds later? This is synchronicity, my dear. And the background of this magic is precisely the quantum field. This entanglement is not limited to atoms and electrons, it manifests itself in human connections. Have you ever felt the heavy atmosphere without anyone saying a word? Or have you become energized just by being around someone? This is energetic alignment in action. Our vibrational frequency intertwines with that of others. That's why toxic relationships drain, while true connections recharge. Consciousness, in this case, acts as cosmic glue, uniting intentions, emotions, and vibrations. Science is still trying to decipher how this works, but spiritual practice has understood it for millennia. Ancient cultures spoke of this without using the term quantum entanglement. They knew that prayers, mantras, and meditation created real connections. Today, with a little observation, anyone realizes, we are sewn together by invisible threads. And when you change inside, these changes are reflected in your relationships, even with those who are 1,000 kilometers away. So, the question is, with whom or what are you entangled? Afraid, doubtful, scarcity? Or with abundance, peace and creation of reality? Reflect on the emotions and intentions you have been throwing into the air. Because, deep down, everything you emit comes back, as if the universe were a great emotional echo. And this leads us to realize that, in practice, the reality we live in is an exact mirror of the energy we carry. Have you ever noticed how there are days when everything flows, and others when it seems that the universe is in a tantrum? The truth is that reality is not against you, it is only reflecting what you vibrate. It sounds like mystical talk, but it's pure emotional engineering. Your vibrational field is like a mirror that responds perfectly. If you wake up grumpy, angry at the alarm clock, the traffic and the coffee that has cooled down, the world will give you back that frequency in the form of setbacks. Now, when you wake up and intentionally align yourself with gratitude, it's like turning on the Wi-Fi of abundance. Simple actions such as saying thank you before you even get out of bed or putting on music that makes you dance already raise your vibrational frequency. It sounds silly, but don't underestimate the power of it. Emotional consistency is the engine of the creation of reality. The energy you emit throughout the day creates the experiences you encounter along the way. A practical example: imagine two people going to a job interview. One is full of fear, thinking that she is not good enough. The other mentalizes success, sees herself being hired, feels gratitude for the opportunity even before it happens. Which of the two do you think is the best fit with the vacancy? This is the power of visualization combined with emotion. It is not about feigning optimism, but about generating sincere intentions that are compatible with what you want. The secret, then, is to take responsibility for what you vibrate. The world doesn't punish you, it just responds. And, let's face it, this is liberating. Because it means you can change the external, changing the internal. Nothing happens by chance, and everything around you is a reflection of what's inside. But to really turn this game around, it takes more than optimism. It takes reprogramming the base, the emotional core, where the real power lies. If the subconscious is the soil where everything grows, then meditation is the hoe that prepares the earth. It is there, in the guided silence of the mind, that we begin to access this deep space where our most resistant beliefs live. But just meditating for the sake of meditating doesn't do much good, okay? The difference is in the intention that is placed and in the emotion that is activated during the process. Without emotion, the message does not stick to the subconscious. It's like trying to stick a poster on the wall with the wind blowing. Want a powerful example? When meditating, visualize your dream life in maximum sensory detail. Smell the new house, the touch of the steering wheel of the car you want to drive, hear the sound of your name being called on a reconnaissance stage. This practice, done daily, begins to attune your vibrational frequency to the reality you wish to create. The emotion anchored in the mental image is what imprints this new programming on the mind. And if you don't have practice with meditation, start simple. 5 minutes a day, in a silent corner, focusing only on breathing, already open the channel. Use binaural soundtracks, apps like Insight Timer, or even YouTube videos with specific frequencies, such as 432 Hz, that help with energetic alignment. Repetition with emotion is the golden combo here. It's like doing emotional weight training. Each session strengthens the mind to sustain the new reality. This reprogramming does not happen overnight, but it has an accumulative effect. Over time, the subconscious begins to operate as an ally and no longer as an invisible saboteur. And that's exactly where the magic intensifies, because it's not just about thinking differently. It's about feeling different. And when that emotion becomes habit, you actually begin to sculpt a new version of yourself. Just like an artist in front of a block of marble. Imagine for a moment that your life is a block of marble. And you, my dear, are the sculptor. Every thought, every emotion you repeat is a hammer that shapes your reality. When one visualizes something with intense emotion and constancy, one is literally carving one's experience into the marble of the subconscious. It's not an exaggeration, it's applied emotional science. Emotion is the sharpest tool we have when it comes to manifestation and creation of reality. People who always live in fear, anxiety, or anger are unknowingly carving distorted forms into their own existence. Those that connect to gratitude, clear intention, and conscious detachment, create a masterpiece. A practical example. By imagining a project being successfully completed and feeling the pride, joy, and relief of it as if it were already real, you activate the quantum field with that frequency. This is not magic, it is vibrational coherence. And why does it work? Because the subconscious does not distinguish the real from the imagined. When you view it with emotion, he understands that it is true. Then he begins to align thoughts, attitudes, and perceptions to sustain that truth. It is as if the universe begins to conspire in favor, or, rather, as if it responds to its new signal with synchronicity. You attract people, ideas, opportunities, and even unforeseen events that push you to your destination. Therefore, cultivating emotional consistency is like sharpening the chisel. It's no use giving one hammer a week and waiting for a sculpture. The daily repetition, with presence and true emotion, is what transforms this rough block into living art. And if you think it's going to be fast, hold on, because every master of emotional sculpture needs to understand that persistence is the name of the next stage. Here's a truth that no one likes to hear: it's no use doing everything nice for 3 days and then giving up. The subconscious is not impressed by fleeting excitement. It only transforms with consistent repetition. It's like learning an instrument. Playing the guitar once a week doesn't make you a musician. And in the realm of reality creation, emotional consistency is the daily training that recalibrates your vibrational frequency until it becomes your new standard. You know that habit of hearing statements in the mirror once and thinking that everything will change? So, it doesn't change. But if you listen, feel, repeat with intention every day, then the game turns. Mental reprogramming requires continuous presence. A practical tip: create sacred routines. It can be an alarm on your cell phone to remind you to do 3 minutes of visualization, or paste phrases of power on the bathroom mirror. The important thing is to generate repetition with purpose. Persistence doesn't mean rigidity, okay? It's not forcing yourself to be positive all the time. It's about getting back to your center even when everything seems to come crashing down. When that project is delayed, when the money disappears, when the message doesn't arrive. That's when you test how much you really are aligned. Vibrational frequency isn't about appearance, it's about emotional resilience. True consistency comes when you hold the vision, even when the scenario says otherwise. So, if you're on this journey thinking that everything is solved by magic, you can take the quantum horse out of the rain. The mind needs time to unlearn and relearn. But here's the gold: every day you persist, you rewrite old code. And, suddenly, what once seemed like effort becomes identity. But of course, the universe likes to test to see if the change is really real, and that's when the challenges start to knock on the door. It's curious how, right after we decide to change, life seems to mess everything up, right? The truth is that these challenges are not punishments, they are tests. They come up to check if the new frequency you claim to have is really consolidated. The quantum field answers precisely: if you say you're vibrating abundance, but despair when you see the bill in the red, the universe understands that the old pattern is still in charge. Misaligned? The reflection changes. These tests come in the form of delay, criticism, rejection, or even silence. And look, they are uncomfortable. But each situation is a golden chance to react differently. If before you freaked out with a no, now you breathe, observe, meditate, and respond with intention. This is applied emotional consistency. A good exercise in these moments is to ask, how would the higher version of me react now? That simple question changes the direction of your energy on the fly. This is where many people give up. Because he thinks that, by vibrating right, everything should be easy. But creating reality doesn't exclude obstacles, it changes how you interpret them. And this totally changes the results. Remember emotional visualization? It also serves here. Before a challenge, visualize yourself going through it lightly, with detachment, with confidence. The mind conditioned to fear retreats. The reprogrammed mind acts with purpose. These tests, in fact, are like final tests of a stage. You don't repeat to be punished, but to show that you have learned. And when this understanding becomes part of your system, even setbacks take on a new meaning. Because after you learn to maintain your vibration, even in storms, the inner space necessary to release arises, and trust. And it is precisely at this moment that the next level of the journey is accessed, conscious detachment. True power is not in controlling everything. It's on the loose. And this is one of the greatest spiritual lessons that the subconscious needs to absorb. Detachment is the ultimate proof of faith in the quantum field. When you plant a seed, you don't dig the earth every day to see if it sprouts. You trust the process. The same goes for demonstrations. You align your intention, vibrate with true emotion, and releases. Delivery. Trust that it is already done. Delivery is not passivity, okay? It is action with detachment from the result. You do your best and allow the universe to adjust the rest. Anxiety comes when we want to control the how and the when. But the quantum field has paths that the rational mind doesn't even dream of. Gratitude here is the master key. She vibrates, I already received it, even before the thing materializes. A good exercise. Give thanks every day for something that hasn't happened yet, as if it has already happened. It is at this stage that many stumble, they get stuck in the, why hasn't it arrived yet? This question, in itself, vibrates scarcity. Misalignment. The practice of detachment is trusting that divine timing knows what it is doing. When you let go, you leave space. And space is everything. That's where the field responds. You don't need to convince anyone, or prove anything. You just need to keep your heart light, your mind clear and your emotion vibrating in the alignment of what you want to live. This lightness, this vibrational faith, is what differentiates those who only dream from those who manifest. And, mind you, it's not about pretending you don't care, but feeling that everything is fine, with or without it. Because, ironically, it is in this inner peace that reality aligns most quickly. And when this state becomes natural, you finally understand that you are not a sidekick to existence, but the true creator of the experience itself. If there's one thing you need to put in your heart, it's this: you're not a victim of reality, you're the creator of it. Not as a magician in a top hat, but as an energetic architect. Every thought aligned, every emotion felt with intention, every act of conscious gratitude is a brick in the construction of your experience. The creation of reality does not happen only in the big moments. It happens in the silence of your daily thoughts and in the micro-choices of the now. Most people live reacting, as if life were a board already assembled. But what they don't know is that the game can be redesigned. Just align yourself with the higher version of yourself and repeat that alignment until it becomes identity. The subconscious mind reprograms itself little by little, like software updating. And when the internal system changes, the external system begins to respond. With synchronicity, opportunities and even miracles in disguise. Assuming this authorship is liberating, but it also takes work. Because it requires emotional vigilance and constant intentionality. You begin to realize that it's not just about attracting, but about becoming. And when you are that frequency, reality has no choice, it bends. Conscious creation is this: a process of internal choice that reverberates in the quantum field, at the right time, in the right way, through channels you didn't even imagine. But it all starts with you. And if you've made it this far, you already know there's no turning back. Now you've seen the backstage. Now you understand what is behind every mental repetition, every emotion that seems like just a feeling. The veil fell. And this awakened awareness is the key that many seek all their lives without knowing it. But the most incredible thing is that this path does not end here. Because the next step is where it all connects with something even more powerful, the complete activation of your inner code. Now that you know that the subconscious is not just a part of the mind, but an active transmitter that shapes your reality, what are you going to do with it? Will you leave this knowledge stored in a corner of your mind, or will you start using it, every day, to manifest the life you deserve? Because, let's face it, knowing and not applying it is like having a golden key in your pocket and continuing to knock on the door with your forehead. So, the question is straightforward. Are you ready to reprogram your subconscious and turn your vibrational frequency into a synchronicity magnet? Have you ever thought about how different your life could be if you consistently practiced the visualization, meditation, and detachment techniques you learned here? Or will it continue to feed the old pattern while waiting for a miracle? If this content made you reflect, felt that it touched something inside, then comment here. What was the strongest insight you had? And what will you start to change from now on? Let me know in the comments. I want to follow your transformation journey. Oh, and don't forget, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell and stay here, because there is much more to help you master the invisible game of creating reality. Because he who dominates the invisible, dominates the rest.